welcome to fmtraining.tv. My name is Margaret. I'll be your broadcast engineer for today. Before sliding back into frame. Hi, everybody. Good to see you all. Hope y'all are having a lovely Monday. Mondays are, as always, Mondays. So this will be a good one, though. Nick is back on stream with us doing day 4 of his fundamental layout design. If you'd like to support the channel, we'd greatly appreciate it. If you have bought this already to support the channel, thank you very much. We have our FM Training annual subscription bundles. There's a ton of hours of video content. Nick himself, who is on stream today, is both a master of UI design and, frankly, an amazing FileMaker developer. The stuff that he does with FileMaker is insane. He's had a lot of insane customers using FileMaker in really interesting and unique ways. He's also currently for hire. So if you are looking at a solution, you're going like, I don't know if I actually want to do this. I recommend that you reach out and see if Nick might be a good choice for you. He's legitimately fantastic. The work he does is fantastic. There's a reason that RCC has him as a senior engineer, and also, frankly, that he's the reason that FM Starting Point looks the way it does. All of FM Starting Point's recent designs, I think the last 2 recent designs, are all Nick. Okay, with that all being said, I think we're probably good. Nick, what are we doing today?
Hello, Martin. Hello, everybody. So thank you for joining today. So thank you for the introduction. And so what we do today. So I'm not sure if I'm still for hire or not because I have a new customer in Australia.
Ooh!
I think so. We didn't sign a contract yet, but I think interesting customer, by the way. Something from scratch. They have nothing. They have a
Oh, so you don't have to fix anything. You can just get to build it all pretty
Yeah,
from the
just
beginning.
go to the file menu, new file, right? So that would be interesting. It's and they have a bunch of documents in. So for now, they use a Apple Contacts app as a contact management. They use a bunch of folders and stuff for their file in Dropbox. So stuff like this, right? So they use plenty of small thing like this, and they were doing that for years, for decades, right? But it's time for them to switch to their integrated system. So hopefully we will see, we will do something interesting here. So so but anyway, if somebody want to hire me as well, I have some spots are free anyway. So so today what we do, we're going to start building objects, okay? Because FileMaker has some out-of-the-box objects, right? Popover, polls, and tabs, you know. But we can build our own objects. We can build our own components. We call a component is a multiple object together, and poof, you have something new. Okay, so I'm going to start today building a replacement of the tab control. And I'm going to have a discussion about this. Okay, I know the boss doesn't like it, but this is how it is. And that's why I want to talk. I want to take like 1 day or 2 days to talk about this because it's very important. Because it's a key. It's the key of getting layout done. Without this, you cannot get any layout, right? So let me start share my screen right quick and stop the camera. Share screen. Okay. So
Yeah.
what we want to achieve here is something like this. Okay. This is a tab. Okay. This is a tab. Doesn't look like a tab, but it is. It's a tab. All right. And this also, it's a tab, right? And this also, it's a tab. But you cannot do this. And this is a tab, this is a tab. So you have tabs all over the place, right? But you cannot use the tab control anymore. This, okay? So let's do a new layout, brand new. And so we cannot use that object. I've never used that object, never ever. It's this object for me it doesn't exist. Why? Is because it's not, you can't customize this. It's impossible to customize this the way you want it, you know. It's impossible. So I stopped doing this, stop using it. It's not comfortable. It's not it's not an object that it fits modern construction anymore. Okay. So and it doesn't behave well neither. Okay. It's hard to manipulate. It's hard to customize. It's hard. It's hard. It's not good at all. Okay. So, and let's say I want to do something like that, you know? So 1 tab, 2 tab, 3 tab, right? So this is how it looks. So let's say I have this, you know, how the hell you can do something like this using this? It's strictly, completely, totally impossible, right? So let's say you have a bunch of tab like this, right? So you have a bunch of tab like this, which is text only, okay? And then somewhere here, you have another one, which is text only, okay? Like this, you know, 4, 5, right? Right? So you have this like this. And then somewhere here, you have another one like this with 2 tabs, right? So this here is the same as this. See? 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and the fourth has 2, right? So is this comfortable to use? Is this comfortable to see, to look at? Is it something like you feel like, wow, this is great, right? You know, so this is a freaking nightmare visually, right? Don't tell me that, don't tell me that with this you feel comfortable, right? So yes, we can change some appearance. We can change the size of the text and something like this, but no way we can make this to look like this, like a modern tab, right? And this is the head of a tab control, but this also looks like a tab, but it's not. You know, here I'm going to another tab, right? I'm staying in the same layout. Here I'm going to another layout, right? Here I'm going to another layout, but it looks the same, but right. So it looks like a tab and looks like modern tab. You know, the modern tab looks like this. You know, you have the underneath the text, you have a line here. You know, something subtle, something small, something like doesn't crush the design. This crush, you crushed. It's visually awful, and to use, I don't even speak about it. Right here, you have icons that helps a lot. You know, and then you can use you know you know the size of it, you know, this is big, smaller, smaller, you know, it looks, it's not, you know, we can use this um, appearance to be subtle, you know, to make sure that it's not taking over in the design, right? It's not taking over visually, it's not, this is not taking over this, and this definitely looks like the main, it looks like the main one, and that's the secondary, right? If you have this, you have no hierarchy, you know, everything looks the same. Yeah, I can put that bigger, I can put that smaller, but still, okay, it's not the same at all. So, and we cannot put icons. Their you know, the calculation here is not great. So this is not something you want to use. So these objects, I mean, tab control. If you pull a design report in all my solution, you look for tab control, you will see 0. I'm using none, and that's for years. Since FileMaker 12, I completely stopped working with this. So why? So FileMaker didn't want to deal with this. They didn't want to deal with this and say, because how you can add an icon here? You imagine the nightmare of the tab, this dialog. If I need to, add the icon, stuff like this, or doing like a complete design, complete customization of the appearance, right? Of how the tab behave, how the head of the tab behave, how the panel behave. This is a freaking nightmare. So, this we gone. We don't use this. So instead, what do we use, right? What do we use? Well, we use a new object called like slide control. Those two, right? That's what they put together. They are quite the same control. They are the same. Technically, they are exactly the same control, right? But they don't have the same appearance. Let's say that the slide control, it's a tab control, right? It's a tab control without a header, right? There's no tab here. It's there, right? You have the button here, right? But we can, with this object, so this is the same object, that is exactly the same object. If I say this is a tab, so I have the same type of on panel switch triggers, they work on both, right? I can say on panel switch here or on panel switch here. That's the same thing. All the panel functions, all the panel function that we have here, the trigger, the panel, all those panel stuff, they work on both objects, right? So how we can make this a tab control, right? And how we can make it easily a tab control, right? Yes, of course, there is more work to do than just pull this, right? And do this. Yeah, definitely there's more work, right? But it's not a big deal, and I'm going to show you why. Okay. So I want to show you how to build one from scratch, and then I'm going to show you how to reuse one you built. So how to build. So you have a tab, and here, what I want to do, the first thing I want to do, I want to get rid of those 3 buttons here. Okay, so you double click on the object and you say, okay, show navigation dot poof, gone, right? And then the swipe gesture, we can remove it, but sometimes I keep it, but I'm going to show you later this. And then you can navigate through through the panel from here. You navigate from the panel 1, 2, 3, and you can add one and remove some, okay? And you can see here, something interesting is happening here, We can navigate from panel here, or we can navigate from here. See, it follows, see? So this and this is the same. So when you want to navigate from one panel to another, you have the object tree. This is your control, can hide and show. This is the panels, okay? So here I have a free panel, right? Tab, let's say, right? And I want to be able to make it a tab control, like the object, like the other one, like this one. Well, you need to add on top of this, you need to add a button bar. When FileMaker decided to enhance the tab control, they said, okay, let's build two objects together, right? Let's build two objects, the slide control and the tab and the button bar, right? And let make them a new tab control object. Let's say tab control components, because we have two objects now. We have this and we have this, two objects, right? So here it's a tab, it's a button bar. So I can say, okay, tab one, I'm going to the next one. Tab two, I'm going to the next one. Tab three. Okay. So now I have tab one, tab two, tab three, you know, like this. So now here I have tab one, right? Let me have tab one. Here I have tab two, right? And here, oh, let me grab this. I have tab three, right? So now here I have tab one, tab two, tab three, right? I have my three panels here. Tab one, tab two, tab three, correct? Then here I have a button bar. Tab one, tab two, tab three. And I want to use the button bar as a remote control for my slide control. So I want this to drive this, right? So how I'm doing this? Well, with the object tree here, I can rename object. I can rename panel. You can do it from here or you can do it from here, up to you. It's the same. From here or from here, right? It's up to you. I like this here because it's visually more comfortable. And I call it slide one, right? Or tab one, whatever, Let's call it tab one. I'm going to call it tab two, this one. And this one, I'm going to call it tab three. One, two, three. Now the object has a name. I have a name. Each tab of this control, okay, has a name, right? So now what can I do? What can I do to, to control this, right? Well, with FileMaker, let's drive a button here. Go to object, tab one. Okay. So I can say, or tab two, for example. Okay. I have a button here, and I can say, go to objects, tab two, right? Because go to object name, remember, I have a name here now. So this button here, I'm in tab one. If I click here, poof, I'm going in tab two. So I'm showing you the tab two. I was in one, right? And now it showed two because I said go to object two. What happened is I go here and I do the same thing. I say go to object tab one for this object here, right? And here I said go to object tab two, right? And here I said go to Object, tab 3. So I have a button bar now, so 3 buttons together, right? Of course, I could have draw 3 buttons like this and duplicate the button. I could have done this, but the button bar suits very well here, and we will see why. Because everything is on the button bar. You have all the tools there. So if I go tab 2, boom, tab 2. If I go tab 3, poof, tab 3. See? If I go tab 1, tab 1, 2, 3, 2, 1, 3, 2, 1, 3, 1, 2, boom. I have a tab control back. But now you can see here, this is my default design, but now I can do something like this that I couldn't do before, right? I can do, I don't know, this, put bigger. I can put, I don't know, this, and I can put this. Now I have this object here. So see, I can do whatever I want. I can make it smaller because 32 is big. So I can do this like this. I can put it like this, right? Can put like this, right? And tab 1, tab 2, tab 3, right? So it looks great to me, right? It looks modern. If you want to try this with the tab control, the other one, good luck. Good freaking luck, really. And now that you have this, something new happened here that you cannot do with this guy. It's impossible to do that, what I'm going to show you, right? But this one here, no way I can add an icon. Yeah, you can do the old way. You add a button on top. Yeah, like in FileMaker 5. Yeah. So yeah, I can do this. You put an icon here. In 1980, right? So you can do this, right? Like it was but nothing close to this. Nothing close to this, right? That clean, because this object is clean. It's a button bar, and it's clean. I didn't do any hack. It's not a hack, right? It's designed that way. And I'm going to show you much more thing. Then after that, you have another thing that you couldn't do before. Impossible. This. How you do this? A vertical tab control. How you do that with the other one? Impossible, right? Here I can do vertical. I can do horizontal, right? I do whatever I want because this object, the remote control is detachable. I can detach it from the, so I can put it where I want, right? So now that I have this object, right, here, so it looks good. So I can put on the background, I can put this nice objects and back, right? So now I can have something like this, something that looks great, right? Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. It looks great, right? So now that I have this, right, I need a connection. I need a connection between this object here and this to make sure that I will get always what's the name? The right segments highlighted active because on the bottom bar, we have those states, the inactive states, the active states, the hover, the pressed, and the in focus, right? So the active state is when it's pressed, right? When it's active. And the inactive is when it's not, right? So, but this here, this is where you define the active tab by default, right? But if I say I want the tab 1 active, right? And I refresh the window. So I said I want the tab 1 active by default. But if I click on tab 3 and I refresh the window, poof, it will go back to, or if I go back somewhere, if I go there and come back, right? So you come back like this, right? But this, I don't have a connection between, I have a connection between this and this. That means the bottom bar drives the slide, but the slide is not driving the bottom bar, correct? The slide is not driving the bottom bar. That means if I do this, I allow the gesture, I can switch, I can do this, right? With the gesture, right? But this doesn't change. So now, I am off. I am off, right? Completely off. So what I want to do is something like this, right? See, it's boom, boom. See, I have my mouse here, and I do with the gesture. You see this change. So they are in sync. I can click here, but also I can slide with a gesture. So they are always in sync. The both objects are in sync. They're connected on both ways. You know, from here, I can click or I can slide. See, I slide. Here, I don't have this connection. It's missing. The connection between the tab and the slide from the slide. I have the connection from this one to this one, you know, go to object, go to object. But here is not telling me which slide is active or not. For this, we need to use a script, right? But that's okay. So how, it's not a big script, bro, you know. So this is where the on slide, what's the name? On switch panel, right? Hold on, I double click on the wrong object. This is where we need a trigger, right? But that's a catch, and I'm going to show you all of that, right? I'm going to explain. So since he's doing this, do we have any questions?
Not on YouTube or Twitch. Basically, how do you get the Morpheus theme in FileMaker? I do not see it in the basic
No,
FileMaker
that's
theme options.
that mine. I built it. So I'm going to show. I'm going to give it to you at the end of the webinar in a real nice way, and I'm going to build like a theme file where you will have all objects pre-built. I'm working on this, right? So here I have on panel switch and I have a trigger. Okay, very small one. They are very small one. I can take whatever, this one. So we need a script. We need a script. So the name is very important for the future. So I'm building a variable, okay? And I'm going to say that I'm going to change to tab, okay? So it's not parcel, it's tab. Tab one, okay? This is tab one. And this is important. So I'm going to show you this, okay? So I'm going to attach this script here, because I need to show you something. I'm going to launch the trigger, the debugger, and switch panel, boom. When you switch panel, you have the script, right? You have this script running, right? Go to object, and when I switch, boom, I have an on panel switch trigger because I move from one panel to another one. So I change panel, right? But here's the catch. So this is why I want to show you this. We have two get objects, the get trigger on the trigger here, the panel. We have two panel. We have the current panel and we have the target panel. What panel I clicked? I'm not dead yet, but I clicked and I want to go to that one, right? The target panel. I don't care about the current panel. I want the get target panel. So where I'm going here, for example, I'm here. Okay, I'm here. Okay. If I click here, I'm going to the tab 3, correct? Because I click here and I ask the slide to show me the third slide of this object, of the slide control. I ask the third. So this function here returns this. But here's the catch. The get trigger target panel return two values. The first value is the number of the tab. Which number is? The first, the second, the third. And the second value is the name of the panel. Which name I put here, Remember, I put a name on the slide. I name it tab 3, right? But this is just the number. It's just the number. Which number? And that's all what I want. I don't care about the name. I don't care. I just want the number of the panel. And to do this, because if I said this, well, I can't do anything because I have two values. I need to narrow down to the first, right? Well, that's easy. Get value, the list of value, I want the first because the second is the name. The first, I want the first, right? Just what I want is the number. I just want the number, right? I don't care the name. It's very important. And you will see soon why. So now here, each time that I'm going there, I have this tab, right? Tab. Which one is active? If I click here, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 3, 2, 3, 1. So now I know which number, right, is active. I'm on tab 3, correct? But the best part of it is even if I slide like this, now it changed here too. Because when I slide the objects, it trigger the on panel switch because I have a trigger attached to the panels and the trigger said on panel switch. So yeah, I switch panels. So now, so the trigger this. Where you go? Okay, I was on 2, I'm going to 1, right? Boom. Because this on panel switch trigger takes over because I switch panel like it should do on panel switch. And that's why they have on panel switch, right? Is to do this type of job. But what is important to know is where I am going, right? This is important. So now, why I'm naming my tab, my slide, whatever, why I'm naming them 1, 2, 3, right? Typically, 1, 2, 3. So why I'm naming like this? Tab 1, tab 2, tab 3. Why? The button bar, how the button bar works, button 1, no, this is not the button bar. Button bar, how the button bar works. Button 1 and button 2 and button 3. How this works. So let's change okay, how this works, right? So I can define the active segments, say none, or I can say hard-coded, I want the 1 or the 2 or the 3, hard-coded. Or I can say specify by a calculation. For example, let's name this one button 1, right? And let's name it this one button 2. And let's name it button 3. Okay, so the 1, 2, 3. The name button 1, button 2, button 3, right? So let's say I want the button, I want the button 1 by the name. I want the button 1 to be active. I have a calculation here, specify, and I put the name of the object that I want to, the segment I want to be active. This one is active. Now I'm changing here, and I said, I want the button 3 active. Both. So I did on purpose. It's not the text you put here that matters. The text you put here, you say, put whatever you want. It still works. Why? It's because what matters is the name of the object, the name you put here, not the content of the button, is the name of the object, but not what inside this, the name of this. This works with the name of the object, not what inside, right? So now you know how I'm going to make that working. I'm going to call this button here button 1. And I'm going to call this button here button 2. And I'm going to call it this button 3. Right? They all have a name. Remember, this variable that works with the slide on panel switch give me a number, returns a number, right? 1, 2, 3, see? Return a number. So what do I need to do here to make that thing to work? I'm saying what button is active. They all name the same, button 1, 2, 3, right? Well, the button active is button underscore and my tab 1 variable. That's we return an object name. So which button is active now? Well, button 3, right? Button 1, 2, 3. Because the name, I build the name with a part of the text, and then I'm adding the number of the name. They named button 1, 2, 3. So it's button and 1, 2, 3. This one will return the 1, 2, and 3. So since now that I have a calculation to get me the active tab, right? Right? So yeah, I need to add this. I have this happening, right? So now I need, that's why in the scripts here, right? I can refresh, right? I can refresh an object because the bar here need to be refreshed if you want the thing to work. So the bottom bar itself need to receive the button, need to receive the name. So you can name buttons inside the object, and you can name the object itself, navigation 1, navigation 1, navigation. Okay. So now this object has a name, this object. So here in my script, I have a refresh object. So I can just say, okay, do this and refresh that object because I'm sending the name of the object in the parameter, right? So now this script here, we say, okay, what object I need, which object I need to refresh? Well, the one I'm going to give you in the parameter. So now, boom, boom. With the gesture, I change the tab, boom, 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 boom. See? And I can click here, click here, click here, click here, click here, right? Click here, click here. And I can slide. Of course, I can move this on the side, and that works as well, right? See? 1, 2, 3, right? So I can put it vertical, horizontal. I can do whatever I want, right? So it seems to be a lot to do, but here's the catch. This is why I never ever name those objects with name like for example, this is um, here. Oh, this is docs or general info. The name of the object, the name of the button, right? The name of the button. I don't use I don't use proper names. I use generic names with numbers, with digits, right? Like button 1, button 2, button 3, button 4. I'm not saying, oh, this is button feed or no, because then you cannot use that system at all because the name of the button is driven by the number of the slide that is active. What number this returns, that will be part of the name I'm going to activate, right? To make it active. So I'm using the number of the slide that is active where I'm going to activate this system where you can name those with a specified calc, right? If you put a name or like this, well, it doesn't work anymore, right? It's complicated and it is you break the thing. So the catch is this: use number, and I'm going to show you also why numbers is cool in that matter. Any questions?
Yes, we do. Someone was saying, by the way, this is a very clever idea to design tab panels. How did you do the slide gesture on the computer?
How you do what?
The slide gestures.
You need a modern computer, which is a Mac. You need a trackpad that works on the laptop or the Magic Mouse Apple. This mouse that works on PC, by the way.
Oh, does it? That's
Uh,
good to know.
yeah, this because this is it's tactile, it's touchable. This here, see, you can do this. See, I have this mouse, so you can do something like this, right? So you can slide with the Magic Mouse Apple, or equivalent on the PC world, which I don't even know if that exists, but you can use a Magic Mouse on the PC. I can't work with another mouse than this one. It's impossible. So this is how you do this gesture. Or if you have a trackpad, it works as well. You know. Other questions?
Not at the moment, so I think you're good.
Okay. So
Oh,
now
wait.
remember,
Can you switch
yeah,
slides with arrow keys? Sorry, one went
no,
in there.
no, no, not because it doesn't know which object you're in. So no, with arrow key you can, but you can build it. I I know how to do that. I can show you tomorrow, but not now. But tomorrow I can show you this how you can do that. With it's not that complicated, but if you don't know, you can make it. So, other question? If you don't have, I can
Nope,
continue.
I think you're good. Yep.
Okay. Remember, I told you that I can make uh, you know, uh, another slide. You remember embedding the tab control. Embedded tab control, the tab control inside the tab control, but without looking like a tab control. Okay. So this is why the name with the number is very important. So let's say in tab 2, let's remove this. I want to add another slide, another tab inside this, right? And this is why the name is very important. So I'm going to add another tab inside the slide 2. So this one is inside the tab 2, see? Tab 1, tab 2. This one is inside tab 2. Okay? And I have 2 on it, and I remove this. So I have this object here. So I have this object here. So I have another tab, right? in that tab, in the tab 2. I have another one. See, you can see in the object tree, in the tab 2, I have another slide. In the tab number 2, I have another slide. So now, how I'm going to name those tabs? I'll let you guess.
Do you have any guesses? Someone's typing tab 1.1.
No,
Tab
it's tab 2.
2.1.
Yeah, you got it. So now you understand why the number is clever, right? Dot 2, and then this one is dot 2, right? So now I can duplicate this object, right? But I want to make it different. First, I don't want icons, right? And second, I want it to look very differently, right? Navigation here, this one. I want it to look very differently. And I have only 2 tab, right? So this will be tab 2.1, right? And this tab 2.2, right? So I duplicate the object. So now I'm going to show you how to repurpose easily, right? Because I built one. So now I change this. I change the name of the buttons to reflect the same dot 2.1, button 2.2, right? You understand? Now, this slide here, I need to name it so it's named to, and here I need to say, go to the tab 2.1 and go to the tab 2.2, right? Correct? So now I can make this. This is the tab, just to recognize them, right? 2.1, and this is the tab 2.2, right? And now what about this? What about the trigger, right? Well, I duplicate this script and I call tab 2, right? And here, the name of the variable, I call that like this. Actually, it's better to call it dot 1 like this and, and dot 1. So I call it tab 2.1, right? And this object here also 2.1. So now I'm going to attach to this panel. This panel here has one trigger. This panel here has another trigger, this one, right? Remember, this is the name of the variable that I need to put here because button 2.1, 2.2. But here the catch. This now, this is a 2.1, and here I need to say they are the button 2.1, 2.2, right? And here I need to refresh the object, this object, right? In the panel switch. So now this is what happened. So I have a tab within a tab that doesn't look crazy, right? It doesn't look crazy at all, right? It looks great. This looks like a modern tab. This looks like a modern tab, right? See? So, and you can go on and go on. I could easily put another one inside. So now that you have object, and this is easy to read, right? So if you go to that big object I have here, right? So you can, the object tree is cool because you can sort, you know, I want only to see the pattern control. So this is, you can see how how far you can go, right? Inside all the slide within slide that I have here, right? But they all make sense. In the slide number 3, which is this one, right? I have the 3.1, and then in the 3.1, I have the 3.1.1.1.2.1.3. See, I have 1, 2, 3 levels like this. So with the name, you know, with this numbering system, well, I don't have any problem to retrieve my stuff, right? Makes sense. So you can put how many slide within slide that you want, and they don't look bad, they don't look crazy, right? Because I could do another slide. Let's say in this slide here, I want to add another one, right? So I, I can easily duplicate this, make it smaller. I want one here in the 1.1, in this one. So I'm going to design something like this, right? So here I have a slide like this, right? But I don't want the slide to look like a redundance with this. I want I want another design. So I duplicate this slide, but here I am in the 2.1 slide. So here I need to rename those, right? That's it, right? 2.1.1, 2.1.2, because I am in the 2.1. I have a problem with my mouse though. Let's see if this one works. Yeah. So this slide here, so I have a slide here, and inside this one, I have another one here. And then, right? So I renamed those so it's named correctly, right? Which one? Oh, yeah, in here, right? So I have a slide here, and I want another tab on top of this here, but I want another design, right? So to make it pretty, normally you do this, right? So you have something like this, right? And here you have a tab like this. And this one, this is the tab 2.1.1, and this is the tab 2.1.2, right? And they go to the 2.1.1. See, with the name, if you were using proper name, it would be like a nightmare to navigate with this. But with the number, it's easy. And I want this to look like another style, right? This, right? Another style. But here I need another trigger. So it's easy. You duplicate this and you call it, you guessed it, dot one. And this one, you call it dot one, right? And you go there and you say specify is button dot one dot one. See? Because you get the same variable name and you report in the specify segments, and the button name is, I need to name those, is 2.1.1, remove the copy, and 2.1.2. Okay, and you will copy. Okay. And here I need to call this variable. And of course, I need to refresh the right object, which will be, like this. So you keep consistent, right? And these objects also need to be named the right way, right? So now this is what I have. Here, why it's not working well? Uh, yeah. So this tab dot maybe the name of the button doesn't work. Yeah. Dot one dot one dot one dot one dot one dot two. I don't know. Dot one button dot one. Yeah. Okay. But here dot two. Well, I don't know. Dot one dot one. Hold on a second. Yeah. Oh, I didn't save it. See? Right? Are you there?
Yes.
Well, okay. No, because I got disconnected from
No,
this.
you're good.
Okay. So now you have multiple tabs embedded, but they don't look crazy, right? So you need some, you need to practice, right? Definitely you need to practice. I'm not saying that it's easy, but you need to understand that you need, for each tab, you need something like this, right? But tomorrow, I'm going to show you the advanced way of this. So I'm going to give you all the, the goodness, because this, if you use that way, it becomes a big nightmare, right? If for each tab you need to build one script, it becomes a nightmare. And I'm going to show you tomorrow how we can have one script that works for all of the panels. So you call the same script over and over and over, and you don't have to take care of duplicating the script, and you don't have to take care of changing the name of this, right? I'm going to show you tomorrow. But the basic, right? The basic is this. So yes, it looks like you have a lot of to do, right? But it's not, because you duplicate, boom, boom, boom. And tomorrow I'm going to simplify your life a lot, because I'm going to remove those scripts. I mean, you will have one script for all of them. Okay. So we agree that this looks better than if I'm doing the same thing with the old tab control, right? Let's do it. So tab one, tab two, tab three, right? Okay. Then I have another object in tab in tab 2, I have this object, right? Where I have tab 2.1, then 2.2, right? And inside the .1, I have another one, tab 2.1.1 and tab 2. Oh, I hate this. Oof. This is the .1, rename, and then I have the .2, create. Okay. Okay. So the two are the same. Okay. Which one is the most appealing?
The one to the left.
Huh? So this is modern. This is not,
Yes.
right? This is 1980. This is 2025. I mean, if you go Google right now, what you will see. If I go Google, you know, what I will see in Google.
Mm-hmm.
Well, they changed recently, but it's um they have the same tab, like
Yes.
somewhere, I don't know, they changed recently, but it's the same object, I don't know, uh but this is standard, you know this is standard. This is not, this is, yeah, it's so if we don't have any question tomorrow, I'm going to continue on this, and I'm going to continue to show you. So when you build this, then you can build another object, right? Another widget that is interesting, we call accordion, because the accordion is another modern object that is extremely practical, you know, but it's not out of the box. So we need to build it. But when you build something like this, and you see how you can duplicate it, and tomorrow it will be even more easy to duplicate, because just you have to rename the name and boom, because the script will be the same. You don't need to attach another script, right? So, and of course I can do, I can modernize, I can do something like this. Of course I can do that. Put like, I don't know, or PDF small, right? Like this. And I can put another icon here, like, I don't know, this one. Right? Oh yeah, I need to make it the icon active black. Okay, boom, boom, see? Icons, text, and this is blah. This is much more appealing than this. But if FileMaker had built an object, a built-in object to do this, it's complicated, right? Any question?
Yes, we do. So
Okay.
first one is, how did he get the blue line to appear on the active button?
Okay, so that's easy. Okay, so good question. Here, I have multiple state, but most important is the inactive. The inactive state is the one that we drive the other states. Okay. I want a 2-pixel, 2-point thick line. On the inactive, I don't say none on the inactive, and then 2 are on the active. Otherwise, it's doing this. it does dancing, boom, boom, bouncing, boom, 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 like this, right? No, what I want, the inactive, I said, I want a solid 2-point transparency. And on the active, I want a 2-point blue. And now I have my stabilize button. I have a bar here on the inactive state of 2 points, but it's transparent. So I don't give a damn. This is how you do. You say on the active, blue. On the hover, I don't want over effect. I can put an over effect if I want. You want over effect?
Sure.
Here you have effect. Right? I can even have a press effect if I want. Hover effect, see? And press, which is darker, see? Darker blue. Press, press. Hover, right? This one I like. I like a lot because it's to show you how complex you can go, right? The active, I have an inner shadow to look like this. I don't know if you notice this, but it looks great. You have a shadow. Then I have an emboss effect. It's not just plain. So do this with the old tab control. Good luck with this, right? I'll let you try, right? So it looks great, this tab. And you can invent all the tab you want, right? I have another style, which is good. Can show you, right? Can modify, yeah, I can modify this one. Yeah, I want to copy this one. It's okay. Because I want to give you this, right? So let's say I have another one that I'm going to call free. I want them vertical, right? And then I want something like this. I want a block. So here how you design it, right? So first you take care of the inactive one, right? So the inactive, I want none. I want nothing. I want on the bar itself, on the object, the bar, and then you have the dividers that the line here, and then you have the segments is the blocks, that's the segment. Okay, so on the bar I want no border. On the divider, yeah, I want one but gray, right? So it looks like this, right? So and then I want on the segments, I want the active to be white and the text to be blue on the active and no inner shadows, right? So then you have another object here. Okay, so white is white, so so let's put it here. Active, 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 see? So it looks different. And now I want something else here. I want 2 pixels on the active to be blue. I want 2 pixels here to be blue on the active. See? See what I mean? You have a nice tab like this. It's very cool. So you can build the tab you want, correct? and I have an extended version of it, right? That I use sometime. But I'm showing tomorrow because it's 17 and yeah.
Yes, you do have multiple days of this, so we can return.
Yeah, exactly. That's why I want to explain very well all those things. You will get the file. Tomorrow we're going to modernize this, because this is rookie.
Mm-hmm.
This is rookie people that doing this. But you don't come here to do rookie stuff. You want the good stuff, you want the crust, right?
Yes.
So and but you will learn something tomorrow that you're going to use and abuse. I know that.
Yes, absolutely. Thank you very much, Nick. I will see you tomorrow. Thank you everyone for coming, and we will
Okay.
catch you all later.
Okay. See you tomorrow. Bye bye.
Bye.